I've been angry, frustrated, pissed with a man by the name of Vladimir Putin, of which I have no connections to, other than reading the news, for a lot longer than 200 and, 10 days now? For a long, long time. But until today, I have never really comprehended how huge of a coward he is. I say that because the bravest person on the planet is someone who is willing to admit their mistakes. Someone who is willing to face their mistakes and their bad choices. Instead of doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, or in this case, 300,000 times down. Why? Vladimir Putin is willing to send tens of thousands of people to their deaths, or frankly, even worse, life-altering injuries. And I'm not just talking about the Russians, the 300,000 Russians that he's going to force, the reservists he's going to call up, that he's going to force into serving the country in a war that isn't a war. I'm also talking about all the Ukrainians who've paid the price. I'm talking about the people who live in the pieces of land that he's also worried about because it's Russia, or he thinks it's Russia. The suffering, the completely unnecessary suffering. Do you know the absolute worst wars that have ever taken place on this planet? The bitterest fighting, the most disgusting waste of life have been between brothers. Yes, Ukraine, Russia, culturally, they're brothers. No, they're not the same place. And no, it doesn't mean that Ukraine can't exist as an independent nation, as an independent identity. That's like saying myself and my brother are the same person, and that we cannot be separated. Are you kidding me? I moved half a fucking country to get away from him. And I actually love my brother. Vladimir Putin is a coward. A coward with thousands of lives, the blood of thousands of lives, on his hands and on his conscience. Not only that, the people around him, and I'm not talking a small number of people here, have let this happen. A completely and wholly unnecessary bloodshed that has been going on since 2014. It's only just gotten bigger and worse this year. Now, think about, we can go further back, like what happened in Chechnya, and technically is still in some variation happening in Chechnya, or the fact that the fighting in Chechnya has just moved to Ukraine because there's Chechens killing each other there too. Fighting that isn't needed. The people that go back and forth and the economic activity that takes place between these two nations would never have stopped. The fact that people would move to Kiev from Moscow, or move from Moscow to Kiev, back and forth, or in the Belgrade, they'd be moving back and forth. They're friends, they're family, they're cousins. They have a similar culture. They share so much and would have continued to share. And it wouldn't matter if there was a border in between them. Not a big deal. This whole thing is because of Vladimir Putin and the people around him and their imperialist, nationalist concepts. And the fact that they're fucking cowards. And they're not willing to go stand on the fucking front line themselves. Yeah, Vladimir Putin, the strong man, should stand in the front of his fucking troops for a sniper to put a bullet in his fucking head. He won't. He never will. He will hide in a fucking bunker and nuke the rest of the goddamn place. And he will probably nuke Ukrainians, because I mentioned before, the bitterest fights on this planet are when it's led by cowards.